Today's episode is appearing just after Christmas, and as such, I have treated myself to a present, and that is a snorkel for the Discovery 3. So I'm going to be fitting this today, going to show you how it's done. It should be a pretty easy job, and I'm actually quite looking forward to doing something on a vehicle that doesn't include any wiring for a change. So yeah, sit back and enjoy this with your mulled wine or your eggnog, whatever it is you're celebrating with. Now, we've got a Mantec snorkel here. It's made in conjunction with TERRAFIRMA. It's based on the original Land Rover design. So when Land Rover first brought out the Discovery 3, they commissioned Mantec to design a snorkel for them, which they did, which was this item here. And the only difference you'll notice is the logo at the bottom here. So on the bottom of this particular snorkel from TERRAFIRMA, you've got the Mantec logo, and on the Land Rover one, you'd have a Land Rover logo. So that's the only difference. So it's a really top quality bit of kit. It's nice and strong. It's not flimsy. The fitting kit looks fairly substantial, if I'm honest, but the instructions are a little bit dubious. So if you're going to be thinking about getting one of these fitted to your own Discovery 3, this video could be really useful. Now, this will fit a Discovery 3 and a Discovery 4, which is why that leads me to the first item, and that is the mounting bracket plate. Now, one of the things I really like about the Mantec kits is the hardware you get, because it's invariably stainless steel, really finely machined stuff. So these are laser cut mounting brackets. Now, you've got two here, and we only need one, and I presume one is for a Disco 3, one's for a Disco 4. The part numbers are AC1 and AC2. Would have been easier if it was AC2 and AC3 and AC4, just to make it clear, Discovery 4, Discovery 3, but I'm pretty sure that we need the AC1, but I will basically pop it on and have a look. Oh, and also I should mention, we've got this top bracket, again, laser cut stainless steel bracket. That's going to sit at the top and support the top of the raised air intake. We have to take this piece off, I believe, so what I might actually do is, while that's off, I'm going to paint that, because I've used some of that ceramic coat on there. I've used all sorts of things, but I can't bring that black back. So if I'm going to be putting a snorkel over it, it's going to look really tatty, so I'm going to paint that with some Raptor. So let's get stuck in and have a look and see what we've got to play with. I'm pretty sure this grill piece is just pressed in, so I'm going to use some plastic trim tools just to try and get to the back of it. There we go. So yeah, a couple of clips, two at the top. Oh dear, I've broken that one. And two at the bottom. It's pretty dirty in there, so I'm going to give that a clean, obviously. Try and tidy that up. We have here the AC1 part number, and that just drops in there. Now obviously this is going to be mounted onto the snorkel itself, but that is how it drops into place. Okay, now if we take the AC2, which I presume is for a Discovery 4, these are in the wrong place. Look, I can't get these to sit over. Now this kit couldn't really be simpler. It's just a two-piece kit. You've got the main body of the snorkel, and you've got the top. Now what's interesting about this is it doesn't have any front-facing ram style apertures, so there's no air that's going to be blown into the snorkel and drawn down, or raised air intake I should say. It's all in the back, so I guess they're kind of hoping you're going to get a vortex created around the back of this snorkel top, or raised air intake top. The vortex is going to pull air into it, but it does have these sort of scalloped pieces out the front here, look, and I'm wondering whether, and I do like to play with stuff, as you know, I might actually open those up in the future and put some mesh on there, because I want to ram some air into the actual intake itself. If I do that, it means I'm going to have to block that off, because otherwise air is just going to go in the front and out the back. But it would be quite cool to see what difference it would make. So I could always do a blanking plate for that. That's a whole nother video. We won't be doing that today. We're just going to be fitting the two-piece snorkel kit. Put the gasket in place. It's self-adhesive, goes onto the actual raised air intake pipework itself, then bolt your clamp on, and then we're ready to put it onto the vehicle. So this is the top of the snorkel. We're actually going to be fitting now the support bracket. Now it only goes one way, so just slide it on and around. I've got the stamp on the actual part itself, look there, that's facing upwards. So get it in position. There's two brass threaded inserts, so we're just going to get our screws into there. I've just prised these open a little tiny bit just because they're not quite grabbing the wing there. So that's worth doing, because if you miss and slide, you're going to catch your paint. That doesn't look too bad, but for some reason it's not looking as low down as it could be. So I'm really happy with the position of it, and it does clear the door and the bonnet, but the bracket for me is looking too high. So on the instructions here, you can see it's asking us to mark the 2 holes, but in the moulding I've got, the holes haven't actually gone all the way through the moulding from the front. So we're going to have to drill those out now. Get your snorkel in position. Make sure your door opens and clears the snorkel, which it does. And then I'm going to tape it in position, which is what I've done. So I've taped it in position, and that's because we now have to drill our holes. So actually that is resting where it should be according to the pillar, but this gap's a lot smaller than this gap. So where I want it to sit is there. There, that's the perfect size, look at that. So if you want to know how to do it, get yourself a roll of masking tape, put it above the mirror and the snorkel, and that will give you the right gap. And that's what I'm going with. So, just going to mark them because I don't want to go all the way through in case I'm off. Right, so I've got a little bit of wrapped here. I'm just going to paint the inside of these so they don't rust. So it says here, drill with a 7mm drill bit and then fit your riv nuts. These do not fit. Right, so that really needs to be a 9mm hole. Otherwise, it's not going to set. Right, so we're doing it by the book. We've got our bonnet open. It's now telling us to remove this plastic trim on the pillar. It's literally just popped on. So, like that. Yeah. So it's obviously been off before. Look, I don't know if you can see that, but it's missing its retaining clip at the top and the bottom and the little spiky bit that's in there. Can fit those clips back in. Oh, look at that. Well, I guess it does its job. It's pretty grim though, isn't it? So it wants me to drill this hole out as well to position a riv nut, but I'm pretty sure that is not where our bracket's going to sit, but we'll do as we're told. So it now wants me to put a 16mm hole in the top. So where we broke, so our little cross there's a stud, a cross stud at the top here, and that actually broke off when we were taking it off, luckily. So where that is, I've actually got to put a 16mm hole. There we are. Right, I really didn't like these clips that I've fitted, so I've gone into the parts bin and got some proper heavy duty ones, because I'm pretty sure those are all aftermarket. These look like they'll do the job. Much better. We'll just drop that over the top again. Right, got a little bit of movement for the top. Do you know what, it fits? Wow, I was not convinced. So I've actually just undone this again because there was a little plastic spacer washer It's like a packer tube that sat behind this plastic trim against the pillar, and that just stopped it going too far down, potentially cracking this actual trim, but it just sets it at a nice distance away. So that is how you should do that. So we put our top on now. So I don't want to damage the snorkel body with friction from the drill. So I'm just going to do this by hand. Last little touches, just we've got 2 blanking plugs for here. 1, 2. Done. So I'm really pleased with how secure that is on the vehicle, I really am. And with some proper silicone installed in there, that would definitely be a watertight seal onto the wing. Not necessarily inside the wing, we'd have to address that separately, but let's just make sure. Look at that. I mean, I couldn't be any better. That's such a nice, clean line on there. The only thing, again, that I was a little bit concerned about is whether or not, and you know what, I was thinking it's going to block my field of vision, but it doesn't. I can't even see it. Well, I can just see the outside of it there. Apart from that, I can't see it at all. So a really easy job, really nice and tight, really solid, doesn't catch, looks good. Happy Christmas to me. The things I really like about the snorkel are, I really like the way it mounts easily and it all went into position. The quality of the fitment's really good, but also I like the way that the closeness of the air intake, if you like, to the pillar and the door when it's open, it's just enough. If it was any more, it would be close to getting caught, or if it moved, it would be close to getting caught, but it just seems to be the right amount of gap to make it just fit really nicely. So I do applaud Mantec for getting it so perfect. And the other thing I really like about it is the fact that it doesn't block my field of view. I cannot even tell it's there apart from a small little piece of plastic in the top corner of my window. If I didn't have that there, I wouldn't even know I've got the snorkel fitted. And you know, that's what I wanted. I don't want something to sort of get in the way of my vision. So all in all, fantastic job. Well done, Mantec. It's gone on a treat. Sorry I didn't look at the instructions a bit better, but you've seen me do it. You've seen how easy it is. Just get yourself a couple of new trim fixings for your A-pillar trim, because they'll break when you take it off. Try not to break your windscreen, and I'll catch you on the next one.